Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're getting our hands dirty diving into the world of vineyard work.
Yeah,
And I know you've been checking out the vineyard worker role on RoleCatcher. So you're not just here for the wine and cheese montages, right?
you're looking for the real deal.
Exactly. We're going beyond those glossy Instagram
Yes, I
pictures.
forget though.
We're talking about the nitty-gritty, the sweat, the dirt, the whole 9 yards of what it takes to make those grapes sing.
Absolutely. It's way more hands-on than folks realize.
So less sipping, more. Well, you tell us.
Yeah.
What does a typical day look like for a vineyard worker?
Okay, so imagine this. You're up before the sun even thinks about rising.
Oh, wow.
Coffee in hand, you meet up with the team. The sun's just starting to peek over those rows and rows of vines, And your to-do list, let me tell you, it changes with the seasons. Early on, it's all about pruning. But not just hacking away. We're talking precise techniques, like cane pruning. Got to manage that yield, right?
Right.
Then you're training those vines, making sure each one is like reaching its full grape growing potential.
It's like an art form almost.
It is. And then boom, harvest season hits.
Yeah.
It's all hands on deck, long days, sometimes crazy heat. It's a workout, that's for sure.
So it sounds like you need to be part botanist, part weather person, part marathon runner.
You got it. It's definitely not a desk job.
No kidding. But I can see the appeal, connecting with nature, seeing those grapes grow from bud to, well, wine.
Absolutely. And speaking of growth, there's room to climb that career ladder too. We were just talking about RoleCatcher before, right?
We were. I saw something there about vineyard supervisors. So it's not just about tending vines. There are opportunities to lead a team and stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure. You can work your way up, become a supervisor, call the shots on vineyard care, harvesting schedules, the works.
Wow. So from vineyard worker to vineyard manager.
Exactly. And hey, some folks, they catch that entrepreneurial bug. They say, why not me? They go and start their own wineries.
Whoa, hold on. From vineyard worker to full-blown winemaker. That's incredible.
It happens. It's all about passion, dedication, and of course, knowing your grapes inside and out.
That's quite a journey. Okay, so we've talked about the hands-on stuff, the career paths, but what about the skills you pick up along the way? I bet you learn a lot more than just how to prune a vine, right?
Oh yeah, you're not just building muscles out there, you're building like life skills. Problem solving, for one.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, think about it. Weather throws you a curveball, pests show up uninvited, suddenly, bam, disease. You gotta think fast, adapt, protect those grapes.
High stakes.
You said it.
Yeah.
And then there's teamwork, man. Couldn't do it without it. Pruning, harvesting, you're depending on your team, everyone pulling their weight.
Yeah.
That translates anywhere.
Totally. So it's not just a job, it's personal and professional development all in one.
Exactly.
Speaking of which, I was looking at RoleCatcher earlier, and
Sure.
they had the section on interview questions for vineyard supervisors, right? And they were asking about managing teams under pressure, especially during harvest. Makes sense when you think about it. Everything's got to happen so fast then.
Absolutely. You got tight deadlines. Every decision matters.
Yeah.
Can't mess around.
Exactly. And that's where a resource like RoleCatcher really shines, I think. It's not just about getting the job, it's about equipping yourself to actually nail it.
Totally. Knowledge
Oh.
is power.
Right. Okay, so we've talked about the hard work, the skills you learn, but let's be real for a sec. There's a certain romance, I guess, about working in a vineyard, that connection to the land, being part of the winemaking tradition. What is it about this kind of work that really captures people's imaginations, do you think?
It's hard to put into words. It's like working in harmony with nature. You're literally watching the seasons change right there in the vineyard. The bud break in spring, all that green growth in summer, and fall, harvest time, all the colors.
Yeah.
It's like you're part of this ancient cycle, nurturing something from the earth, watching it transform. Plus, let's not forget, a lot of vineyards. Crazy, beautiful locations.
Okay, now you're talking. Sunsets over the vines, the smell of ripe grapes. Sounds pretty idyllic.
It can be magical, for sure. But it's important to remember, those picture-perfect moments, they're earned.
Right, not all sunshine and rosé. There's rain, there's heat, long hours, especially come harvest time.
Exactly. It takes a certain kind of person, passion, resilience, respect for the land.
And adaptability, clearly. Which brings us back to something you mentioned before, that whole idea of climbing the ranks. We touched on vineyard supervisors, but let's go deeper. What about the winemakers themselves? How do you even get started on that path?
Well, there are a few different routes people take. Some go the academic route, viticulture, into all that.
Wow, so actual degrees in winemaking.
Yeah, universities, the whole 9 yards, they learn the science, the art, the history, everything.
That's incredible.
It is. But then others, they learn the old-fashioned way, apprenticeships, working side by side with experienced winemakers, learning the tricks of the trade that have been passed down for generations.
So cool. So there's a path for everyone, whether you're a science whiz or more of a hands-on learner.
Exactly. Everyone finds their own way.
It's more than just a career, isn't it? It's a lifestyle.
100%. You're immersing yourself in a world of tradition, of passion, of creating something truly special.
It really is. It's a whole world, isn't it? And speaking of creating something special, we've talked about the journey, the hard work, but let's be honest, it's all about the final product, right?
The wine.
Exactly. So let's say, hypothetically, you're a winemaker. What kind of wine are you putting your name on? What's your specialty?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Like asking an artist their favorite painting, you know?
So many choices.
Right, you got your bold Cabernet Sauvignon, your crisp Sauvignon Blancs. Where do you even begin?
See, I'm a sucker for those lighter wines. Something fruity, perfect for a warm afternoon, maybe with some friends, some snacks.
I feel that. But then, those big, full-bodied reds. Can't go wrong with a classic.
True, true. It's all about the occasion, the mood, the company.
Exactly. That's the beauty of wine, I think. There's something for everyone.
Absolutely. And hey, maybe this deep dive has inspired some folks to, go beyond just drinking wine and maybe learn a little more about it.
Totally. You could even volunteer at a vineyard to see what it's really like. RoleCatcher probably has some resources for that.
Oh, for sure. Get your hands dirty, learn from the pros, talk about a crash course.
Right. So, as we wrap things up here, I hope everyone listening has a little more appreciation for what goes into that bottle of wine.
Me too. This is a whole process, a labor of love.
Exactly. So next time you take a sip, remember, there's a story behind it. Hard work, passion, and a little magic from Mother Nature.
Beautifully said. And to our listeners, we hope this deep dive has inspired you to explore something new, whether it's the world of wine or a career path off the beaten path.
Cheers to that.